President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the current attacks on the people of Gona in Taraba State and ordered security forces to end the violence immediately and decisively. The president warned that attacks on innocent people in the name of revenge or whatever motives will not be tolerated by the government. He explained that nobody should take the law into their own hands because doing so will result in anarchy, which in turn will make everyone unsafe. President Buhari added that in a cycle of violence characterized by revenge and counter-revenge, there are no winners. The president warned that a situation where community leaders abandon their responsibilities and allow thugs to set the agenda is dangerous for peace and security in the country. He criticized leaders that publicly preach the virtues of peace but privately promote hate and intolerance, which ultimately culminate in violent destructions of lives and property. Moving on now, a special tactical squad attached to Puff Adder in the Northwest has recorded another major breakthrough with the arrest of a notorious kidnapper, Abubakar Umar. Francis Form reports that the latest success in making a life unbearable for the criminals is gradually restoring public confidence.
The heat is becoming unbearable for criminals in the Northwest region, with Operation Puff Adder daily recorded breakthrough. 2 weeks ago, 93 suspected kidnappers along Kaduna Road were paraded after being arrested by operatives of Operation Puff Adder. Another set of kidnappers, cattle rustlers, bandits and car snatchers have fallen into police net. Not even their trick to use this 29-year-old breastfeeding mother, Senior Esther, who concealed an AK-47 in a traveling bag to deliver to them, could pass through the vigil eyes of the operatives.
To take this bag all the way from Ondo State to somewhere in Ogun State.
Many of the criminals made confessional statements, confirming the intelligence reports from the public, which made it possible for the high-profile arrest.
All of these persons that we're presenting to you have been positively been indicted by our investigations in one way or the other. We believe by the time we're able to cut off weapon supply and cut off food supply to the criminals, we'll be able to smoke them out of their holes like mere rodents. This is our approach, and we'll be pursuing it very vigorously.
28 trucks of logistics supply for the bandits were also intercepted. In Abuja, Francis Form, NTA News.
You know, every professional endeavor has its challenges and risks. For the armed forces, the risks are a matter of life and death. It's not surprising, therefore, that the critical naval formations in the Niger Delta, tasked with safeguarding national maritime assets, say they face a number of peculiar challenges while carrying out their mandate. Najatu Tijani, in the creeks with them, has a situation report.
Every profession has hazards and challenges, but dealing with natural and man-made disasters, which the personnel of the Nigerian Navy do regularly, may not be part of the bargain. Some reporters are about to experience this firsthand.
Accompany the Nigerian Navy on a routine patrol. This is what one of their routine patrols looks like. We're currently at a place called Bakana Creek, where we actually came upon a group of people engaged in illegal activities.
The suspects are apprehended with more than 50 drums of crude oil obtained illegally from pipes. They are taken ashore, where they will be handed over to relevant authorities. One of the suspects, a teenager from northern Nigeria, says he was lured by the prospect of making a quick buck. They all seem oblivious to the environmental impact of their action.
We've actually waded through marshy, muddy land to get to this particular point across Bakana Creek, where activities of illegal oil refiners are evident. There are pipes running across the ground and discharging waste into this creek. The evidence of the destruction can also be seen for miles and miles away. The destruction to the plant life covered in crude oil.
The Nigerian Navy says it grapples with such actors daily who show no concern for the negative impact they make on the environment and pipeline products. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
Keep up the good work, Nigerian Army. Remember Daddy Shoki and his song, Fire in My Country? Well, traders of the modern market, Makurdi, the Benue State capital, who love that song, might not find it enjoyable again for a while, as they came face to face with fire in their market. Charles Abba says traders are still counting their losses as the fire engulfed it Tuesday evening, razing over 200 shops and destroying goods worth millions of naira.
It was some minutes past 6 Tuesday evening when traders at the modern market had barely locked their shops that thick smoke clouded the sky, sending signals to concerned citizens that fire disaster loomed. In spite of efforts by fire servicemen and volunteers, various shops were engulfed by the blaze. Bridget Obekba and Chukwuemeka, who are among shop owners, said they could not salvage any of their articles from the fire.
Please, we are pleading. We are tired of border market getting burnt every day.
Oga, free me. No push up for me. I don't go market. Now last week I go back.
Some observers of the unfortunate incident commended the volunteers who contributed significantly in bringing the fire under control. They, however, made a case for more firefighting facilities and roads into markets in order not to hinder accessibility for men of the fire service in the event of fire outbreaks, as was the case with this incident. Authorities at the fire station at the market were not available for comments, and the cause of the fire could not be ascertained as at the time of filing this report. Security operatives are, however, on ground to prevent any acts of criminality.
This is not the first time that fire disaster has occurred in this market. The first was in 2014. From the modern market, Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
Quite unfortunate. Now, in sensitive environments like that of a gas retailer, the smallest spark of a flame can ignite the gas fumes and cause explosion. Therefore, the need to tread with caution, have safety equipments to gauge even the right temperatures, and above all, be licensed to operate took regulators to the doors of some operators of illegal gas retailers in Abuja. Energy correspondent Lydia Sampson tells us more.
Gas is very volatile. It's not like PMS. So that's why we are very, very, very careful. We put safety first.
Safety is often overlooked and thrown to the wind in search of a livelihood. 19-year-old Munachi Aloze is the firstborn in a family of 5. For her, working for this gas retailer who is operating illegally is a lifeline for her and her family before seeking further education.
But do you know the dangers inherent working close to a gas station without safety and all that?
Actually, I know.
You know, but you are willing to risk your life to be here for me?
Hey.
Manachi is not alone. She's one of many working for operators of illegal gas retailers in different parts of Nigeria.
Lokogoma is said to be a hub for illegal gas dealers. On citing security agencies and officials of the DPR, the owner of this gas outfit has disappeared.
In sensitive environments like that of a gas retailer, the smallest spark of flame can ignite gas fumes and cause explosion. Therefore, the need to tread with caution, have safety equipment to gauge even the right temperatures, and above all, be licensed. Some operators of gas retailers, citing the officials, many of them started fleeing their sites.
To seal about 14.
Those arrested for illegal operation are expected to be charged to court. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And whether you are superstitious or not. This next story sure sounds bizarre, as Muhammad Adibowali tells us that what could have ended up a day of celebration turned a black evening for some travelers and their families on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, following a fatal road traffic accident which claimed 8 lives. Now, here is the twist. A similar accident occurred on the same spot on June 12 last year, and the FRSC is saying it couldn't have been a coincidence. Let's watch.
The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, constructed some 48 years ago, is about 128 kilometers. The highway remains one of the busiest expressways in the country due to its critical contribution to commerce and social life. Available records indicate that an estimated 25,000 vehicles traveled on the road on a daily basis. Unfortunately, not all the vehicles get to their destinations, while many sustain injuries from fatal accidents, others lost their lives.
If we are patient, there is likely to be reduction in the number of accidents we witness on this road. The ongoing road construction and diversion too is causing, because a lot of people are not really familiar with what is happening here. When you are supposed to slow down, you keep on racing. Where you are supposed to race, you keep on slowing down.
So the challenge of psychological problems is getting on the high side in Nigeria. A lot of people are understanding and they are thinking about the economic challenges they have. So concentration on driving most of the time is not 100%.
What, however, remains a mystery is the multiple accident which claimed 8 lives and many others injured on June 12, the first day Nigeria commemorated Democracy Day.
This is where 8 people lost their lives in a ghastly motor accident on June 12, 2018. Exactly 1 year after June 12 this year, 8 people again lost their lives in another accident at this same spot, but on the other side of the expressway.
While the country was celebrating a political development in history, could it have been a coincidence that the same number of people lost their lives right opposite the very spot where a similar accident occurred exactly a year ago?
The corridor itself is very heavy. We do 25,000 vehicles every day on that corridor. Then secondly, the corridor is undergoing rehabilitation. Because of the reconstruction of the road, most of the vehicles that hit it did not know that there are diversions. They just run into those diversions, and before you know what happens, they will have caused a crash. So these are the 2 major issues that are causing the crashes. But added to it is the condition of some of the vehicles, especially the trucks. That is the greatest challenge we have here, and these trucks are very old.
For the FRSA is to remind motorists to note that the ongoing rehabilitation works on the road requires extra care to avoid unnecessary road traffic crashes. In Abuja, Mohammed Adibowali, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, has flagged off the rehabilitation of a section of Lagos-Badagry Expressway following the approval of funds by the Federal Executive Council. Dr. Ogunyemi reports that this is part of a 3-phase effort by government to provide succor to residents and businesses on the busy ECOWAS corridor.
Presentations by road users was what greeted our camera as we arrived at the location. Their plight can only be understood after experiencing the enormous damage on almost the entire stretch of the road, and this has been the situation for years. Mrs. Bridget sells granuts by the roadside. Like most residents and business owners, she's been affected in more ways than one.
Instead of me selling this thing for 50 naira, I sell it for 150. Very expensive. And again, it affects me in the sense that the time I could have used to get to that place, usually I go there 15-30 minutes. For now, I will get there 1 hour time. The time is also affecting me in that area. And it's also affecting our heads.
Rising to this challenge, this flag-off is expected to bring succor to road users.
The FEMA section was approved by the Federal Executive Council on the 20th of May, which is about 3-4 weeks ago. And so the contract was approved for FEMA to proceed. And we've done all the documentation, all the formalities to start the work, and we are here today. So we are set to start today.
Residents say there should be no delay in the completion of the project.
We are happy, but the only thing is that not commissioning it and before you know it, it disappear. But if the work will start immediately, we are happy.
Please, if this commission can be worked, let this road fix in order.
The 12-kilometer section of the road is expected to be completed within 6 to 12 months. In Lagos, Dotun Oguyemi, NTA News.
And the Federal Road Safety Corps has called on applicants flooding driver's license centers for the renewal of their driver's license to desist from doing so and use the bypass capture scheme of the process. A statement by the Corps Public Education Officer, BC Kazim, indicates that FRSC introduced the bypass capture functionality on the national driver's license to improve the ease of obtaining the license and save applicants time on waiting for capture. According to the public education officer, an applicant for bypass capture will simply make payment online and visit the collection center to pick up the permanent license when it is ready. And such, no need to visit any driver's license center to capture biometric information again. An applicant who is either renewing or applying for a reissue can use the bypass capture feature. A good one there, I must say. Vice President Oshimbajo re-echoes a federal government's commitment to position Nigeria as an industrialized country in the next 10 years. Details when we return. Please stay tuned.
Where people meet from Nigeria to yonder, got you talking.